Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. This is a reminder that this page is about getting answers to you and information that has helped guys win, and moms win, and grandparents win in family court and in juvenile dependency court and CPS cases without a lawyer, or giving you answers that help people light a fire under a sissy, coward, lazy, dysfunctional attorney who's violating the rules of professional conduct. This is a very ugly war over your kids. And most dads, in the 24 years I've been doing this since 2001, in the 60 years of family court that I've researched and looked into myself, .99% of dads have whined, cried, pissed, and moaned about how corrupt the system is with no changes whatsoever. Now, I know what will change the family court system, but nobody's willing to do it. And most people don't have the answer, and it's freaking common sense, and I've talked about it before. If you can't figure out what the answer is to change the family, and it's not to change the laws, we have great laws. A parent who emotionally or psychologically abuses children, or physically abuses children, if there's violence in the home, there's drugs, mental health problems, that person isn't fit, an alien isn't fit to have custody. Those are great laws. And there's numbnuts out there, so we need to change the laws because you guys are so out of touch. You stand on the sideline and you don't engage in your case. You don't read the laws. You don't read what's going on, and you just assume, oh, the laws must be bad. You know, black folks in Jim Crow South, the Constitution was great. It said everybody's a citizen. Emancipation, everybody's free. What happened? The Jim Crow South discriminated and said, you stay on your side, and there was case law that said separate but equal is equal, but we overturned that. And then after we overturned that, there was still a bunch of discrimination. It was the culture of the South, and there's the culture of the court that you're dealing with. You numbnuts, not the law. And the reason why I talk so harshly with people is because when in 2001, when I had a slow computer, when I didn't have e-filing access like you guys do, when we didn't have Zoom calls like you guys do, I was grinding and scratching and clawing for every bit of information that I had or that I found out. I didn't have a James Christensen back then helping me out. If I would have had my knowledge back then that I share with you guys, the stuff I share with you on YouTube for free is 100 times the information that I had back then. If I had that knowledge, my 7-month custody battle, I got full custody of my daughter when she was 7 months old without a lawyer. The mother had an attorney of 17 years and a guardian litem on her side of 10 years. Most of you guys know the guardian litem is a bunch of feminists. I had barely enough information. The guy who mentored me had this much information compared to the stuff to the clouds or the ceiling that I have. So when all you guys want to do is come on my page and whine, cry, piss, and moan about the court system, I've heard that for 24 years. I'm sick and tired of it. That's like somebody signing up to be in the Army and they go to boot camp and they're pissing and moaning about how hard it is. That's what you signed up for. Or two-a-days in football if you want to make the football team. That's what comes with it. You don't sign up for something and then say, oh, this is too hard. You don't sign up and have a kid with a crazy woman in the 2000s and say, oh, this is too hard, family court, I'm just going to quit on my kid. I had a guy in the comments on YouTube say, I'm done fighting. His previous comments was him admitting what a pussy he was and how he sat around and did nothing while the mother punked him like a bitch. The reason why I talk like this is because the number one problem is men not growing balls. Every single man I've seen that grew balls and got on the offensive, if they didn't get a hold of me way late in the game, because those are the guys you got to kind of get over the hump. Even some of them got over the hump. But for the most part, almost 100% of guys who get on the offensive from the beginning have a successful outcome compared to all these pussies who just whine, cry, piss, and moan. The guys who get me halfway through the game, at least half or 60% of them, if they stick to it, get over the hump. I just listen carefully. I showed you guys this testimony. I'm going to interview this lady down the road when she gets there. This lady just did a trial. She had a drug issue, but so did the dad. But the dad was a narcissist abuser, and he abused the system and beat her to it. She didn't see her kids for a couple of years, and she was really depressed. A lot of people would have committed suicide at that point in time. She stuck to it and stuck to it. She was in and out with reaching out to me. She'd reach out to me and then she'd disappear. And then she finally decided, I'm going to go for it at trial. What have I got to lose? This is the kind of stuff I tell you guys. What do you got to lose? She got ready for trial the weekend before trial. She destroyed the father's attorney. She represented herself. Former drug addict. Been clean and sober a couple of years. Hadn't seen her kids for a couple of years. The court ordered a step-up plan. A few hours of supervised visits, a few hours of unsupervised, weekends, and then in 11 months, now she's like in her second or third month. In a few months, she'll be having 50-50. And then I'm going to interview her, and then we're going to post it. That's the kind of stuff that happens. And there's guys who've been in that situation too. It wasn't just because she was a woman, because they were railroading her. And she made some great arguments. She had a 2-day trial and did it herself. I show you guys my winning orders. I show you testimonies left and right. And I still get whining, crying, pissing and moaning crybabies. Now, if you want to whine, cry, piss, and moan, that's fine. There's plenty of resources out there for you to whine, cry, piss, and moan and sit in your misery and wallow in a pool of piss. I'm not the one. I have answers that have worked for thousands of people. I've dealt with 25,000 cases since 2001. Right now it's 2025. I've worked with several fathers' rights organizations, and 99% of dads over and over and over want to tell their horror story. They want someone to give them a hug. They want someone to make it go away. They want someone to make it feel. The only chance you have of getting anything fair is for you to take control of your custody battle and for you to take charge of it. And then a lot of guys, I'll talk to them about doing a deposition, getting on the offensive. Your attorney won't even do a deposition. And they won't do a deposition, and you let them punk you and boss you around, and you're just a pussy because you'd rather make your attorney happy than make your kids happy and fight to be in their lives. So this page is about getting you answers that actually work. I don't have time to dilly-dally around and give a counseling appointment in the comments with everybody who's a whining, crying, pussy-ass bitch. I've seen it for forever. I'm sick and tired of my gender being a pussy-ass bitches. That's why we are here today. We let women take over 60 years ago. We let them have this and have that. And as soon as we're done getting beat down in court, we disappear and we take off and we want nothing to do with family court. So nobody sticks around. But see, women, they stick together, and the radical feminists keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And once they got equality, they wanted more and they wanted more. And they want these restraining orders that totally dominate and control men. They try to pass laws in Washington to have restraining orders if someone looks at you wrong. Like if someone cat calls you or whistles at you or looks you up and down, they can get a restraining order against you. This page is for answers. If you want to be a warrior and get on the offensive and fight, there's answers here. I have a whole video on depositions. There's lawyers out there who blog about how important depositions are, and your lawyer won't do a deposition. I've been giving you guys answers for a while. So as soon as someone comes on and they're whining, crying, pissing, moaning, don't like my tone, they're a thin-skinned, pussy-ass bitch who's not ready to go to war for their kids, so there's no hope for them. So I don't have time to dilly-dally around. That's why I don't tolerate that stuff, because you guys are the problem. If you're a man who's sick and tired of the court system, sick and tired of your attorney, and you want to learn how to fight the right way, I'm the one to contact. If you're a whining, crying, pussy-ass bitch, go to the Father's Rights Movement, Ludwig's page. I just saw actually Tough Dad, TUF. That guy loves to just whine and cry, but he just got 50-50 finally after spending about $80,000. He did I'll show his page, because he's got haters who are jealous because he won. Anyway, this is for real answers. I don't got time to dilly-dally around and goof around. If you're ready to fight, let's go. If you're not, I don't got time for you. Go somewhere else and whine and cry like a pussy-ass bitch with the million pussy-ass bitch fathers' rights groups that are accomplishing nothing. And changing the laws won't do anything. We got great laws. It's the culture of the court. I know what will change the system, and men don't want to do it. So the only chance you have right now while the system's corrupt is for you to get on the offensive. Let's go.